What's going on, guys? Rybon, my teacher in the house, and I am here with the ADL Little Cup 1 week draft tourney first round match. Your Royal Bournemouth for Bombies are taking on the Furrets Republic City and Coach Burger Boyo in our first round match. Again, this is Little Cup. I have no idea what I'm doing, so this is going to be rather interesting. The team I built was fun. The match we played was also fun. Spoiler alert, I'm actually recording this after the match was played. But yeah, it's going to be a fun match. So let's talk about his team real quick. He's got Porygon, which is his Z move user. Obviously, typically Porygon is used for Z conversion, much like Porygon Z, things like that. Pretty speedy, hits pretty hard with that Omni Boost. Omni Boost is allowed in this league, which is kind of scary, but Porygon's not the greatest Pokemon in the world, but it is an okay Pokemon for Little Cup. Meditite next, Fake Out user, typically Fake Out and hits a little bit with some damage. Not the most hard hitting mon, not the fastest mon in the world either, but still a pretty good mon. Mudbray is a physically bulky mon. Typically you see it with the stamina ability, of course, buffing defense every time it takes damage. I of course have Mudsdale in the GPL. I'm very familiar with this particular line. I love this line personally. I was gutted that this got sniped from me, but I'm okay with it either way. Krabby is next, probably his main carry really, typically known for its Life Orb Sheer Force combo, can be double downs with SD and agility, generally hits hard with things like liquidation, pretty solid mon, maybe was a little too frail to play against me, but hey ho. Next up is Pumpkaboo, grass and ghost typing, pretty interesting type, is weak to quite a lot of the metagame though, so very interesting brain. Pretty bulky though, does get things like Leech Seed, so not a bad Pokemon. Anorith is a Pokemon I don't really like. It's an okay mon in Little Cup. Can get rocks and things like that, but generally doesn't hit very hard. And Magikarp's complete trash. Magikarp doesn't really get any moves, of course. It only gets Tackle, Splash, and Flail, and it also gets Bounce if it's shiny from the event. But yeah, as it's not Z Bounce or Z Splash, and even then it just doesn't do much damage anyway. So Magikarp's never come to this match, so you only really need to look at the first 6. Right. My team. So, my team first up. I put this on the wrong screen. My bad. First up, as you can probably guess on the screen, is Abra. Running Fairy MC Magic Guard this week. Z Dazzling Gleam hits pretty much everything on his team. This absolutely nukes anything. I was considering Psychium Z, but then I didn't really opt for it. I feel like the Z conversion Porygon was too much of a pain if I ran Psychium. So I just ran Fairyam for the fun of it, really. Fairyam Dazzling Gleam actually kills Meditite. It does hit a lot of his team really hard. Psychic just murders his team. The only thing it doesn't really hit hard is Pumpkaboo. Energy Ball is there for Krabby, and also for Mudbray. Shadow Ball is there for Pumpkaboo. Pretty standard, nothing too much to say about that. Next up is gonna be Magneto. Pretty solid mon. Running Choice Scarf Sturdy. Most people run Sturdy Berry Juice to proc Sturdy twice. I didn't see the need for it. I like this set quite a lot because it outspeeds his entire team. Flash Cannon and Thunderbolt are generally there for stab. I considered Discharge, but I didn't really need speed control. Volt Switch for pivoting out. Hidden Power Ice is there for Mudbray, and also for Pumpkaboo, which both freely switch in on this without any particular problems. Meditite's 2-shot by Flash Cannon or Thunderbolt, so not really that concerned about the Meditite. Next up is going to be Rick Grimes, the Cantonian Grimer. I actually called it Cantonian Grimer on my showdown. It's obviously a Alolan Grimer. Pretty standard set, honestly. Nothing too complicated here. Violite, Poison Touch. Chance 10% poison's always quite nice. Pursuit for trapping the Pumpkaboo especially. Knockoff hits his entire team. Poison Jab's mostly there for Pumpkaboo, and Shadow Sneak's there to pick anything off that's really low health. Pretty standard, nothing too complicated. Head attack, high defense, of course, Adamant Nature, just to hit that a little bit harder, and a little bit of Spadef investment, just to be able to live a little bit of a hit from that Porygon. Next up is going to be the Queen Miserable, of course, Snubble. Snubble, again, relatively standard, because I don't know too many different things with Little Cup. Berry Juice Intimidate's actually a kind of cool spread. Intimidate, of course, weakening that Meditite, weakening the Krabby. This is, of course, being Meditite's worst Pokemon for it. It does get poison. Meditite does get Poison Jab, but it doesn't do that much to Snubble at -1. Play Rough murders Meditite, Ice Punch murders Mudbray, 2-shots it even after a stamina boost. Thief, of course, to steal items after my Berry Juice is proc, and Bulk Up to set up. Ideally, if I can get Snubble set up, I win the game. That's as simple as that for me. Next up is gonna be the best defogger, of course, Piplup. Shoutouts to Lord Envy, of course, that's his name for Empoleon. If I like Torrent, I'm running special. I didn't see the need to run physical. Honestly, I have enough physical presence on this team to not need special, or not need physical rather, so I didn't run Defiance, I just ran Torrent instead. Defog, of course, get rid of hazards, rocks to set up hazards on them, Scald and Ice Beam if I can spread some burns around, particularly on the Krabby or the Meditite, we're good to go. Ice Beam hits the Mudbray, of course, also hits the Pumpkaboo, which otherwise freely switches in. Alright, and last but by no means least is my lead for this match, Nipton the Budgie. The Budgie, of course, if I like Natural Kill, pretty standard. This set is not anything different, this is a standard lead set. Sleep Powder, of course, to put something to sleep, which means it can't attack me. Spikes is pretty nice to break any focus sash. Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, General Stab hits the majority of his team. So, pretty solid bet for this match. So, yeah, that's going to be the team. I'm going to cut the video real quick. And so, you're going to see a few seconds the battle. I'm actually going to go ahead and record it. So, I'm going to be right back, guys. See you in a minute. Alright guys, we are back, and we are here with the battle. We are playing, of course, against Mint Gum Bubble, which is actually Burger Boyo's showdown name. Do not worry too much about that. But yeah, you can see he brings exactly what we expected. No Magic Armor course, but he brings us 6 of the rest of his team. So let's just hit the replay and I'll show you guys what happens. So I lead Budgie as I expected, and he leads Meditite. Now here I'm expecting to see Fake Out, because Fake Out's pretty standard on Meditite, and I didn't really see anything else to go for. But my first turn, as you do see the Poison Jab, he notices I'm a Violet. I prefer to get up Spikes. Now, Spikes is really important because by getting up Spikes, I break any Focus Sash, and now I just go for Giga Drain for damage. Now, he does knock my Violet here, which does suck for me. Budgie kind of needs its Violet to be super strong in this match. Also, I noticed my Nipton the Budgie name was too long, so it cut it off. Whatever, no problem. Right. But we put this Anorith to sleep. Now, this is actually kind of interesting to me, that he opted to stay in, because I could have just straight up Giga Drained it. But putting Anorith to sleep means that it can't set up or get an X-Scissor off or anything like that on me. It doesn't get up rocks either, which is also nice, but he does potentially have rocks on Mudbray, which is worth knowing. So he opts to switch into Pumpkaboo here, which was an interesting switch. Now we do see that he's relatively bulky based on the Giga Drain damage, so I expected him to be a Violet here, but I can just freely click Sludge Bomb here, and I do enough. Now he actually clicks Sub here, which I'm really surprised to see Sub on a mon that didn't have leftovers. I don't know if he had Synthesis or anything on this thing, I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, my Sludge Bomb breaks the Sub, so I have no problem clicking it here, as he does opt for Shadow Ball, which does not kill me. So Sludge Bomb picks up the kill. Budgie surprisingly picks up a kill on its debut, to which point my opponent gets a little frustrated and says he's really bad at Little Cup. Now I decide to keep my Budgie around here just for sack fodder later, and it's also not bad against the Krabby or the Mudbray, so I figured saving it wasn't a bad idea. So I decided to bring in my Cantonian Grimer, which, as you can see here, was a big misplay because that Drain Punch did so much damage. I didn't think it would do that much. I forgot that this Grimer was part Dark type, so it doesn't actually resist fighting. So that was a mistake on my end. So, knowing that my Grimer is basically dead, I opted to click Shadow Sneak to get a load of damage. Now, that damage was way too high to be a Violet. It turns out that this thing's actually Choice Scarfed, which is actually kind of cool. Choice Scarf Meditite's not something I didn't really think about. But as you can see, he Drain Punches again and kills my Grimer. Kinda sucks, but that's fine. So I bring in Snubble, of course, get that Intimidate off. This is 100% worth it, because at this point, he is forced to switch out unless he wants to lose his Meditite. So I get myself a free Bulk Up. Bulk Up is really important in this match, because it now means he can't kill me with anything in one shot, particularly on the physical side, and it means that I'm pretty much good to go to click buttons with Snubble. So I click Play Rough here as he tries to wake his Anorith up, and the Anorith is gone. Goes into Mudbray here. Now he's probably not expecting me to have this, so I clicked Ice Punch on his Earthquake. Now, even with the stamina boost, another Ice Punch actually kills, so I let him Earthquake again to proc my Berry Juice, and then Ice Punch kills the Mudbray. Pretty standard for me. Now he goes back into Meditite. We know he's Scarfed at this point, so he clicks Poison Jab, which doesn't kill, and I just click Prey Rough and the Meditite is gone. So we're in a really commanding spot right now, as he goes into Krabby. At this point I don't need Snubble anymore, so I can just sack it off to the Liquidation and go straight into Magneto, who comes in, Thunderbolt one-shots, because Magnemite is Scarfed with max special attack. As he does go for Porygon, which I Thunderbolt to do damage, as you see the Z conversion. Which at +1 speed, Porygon is actually 2 points slower than Scarf Magnemite, so Porygon goes down to another Thunderbolt, and that is the game. So we move on to the semi-finals as it is, round 2, which is a best-of-3 match versus, I forgot his name, whoops, I do apologise. Let me have a look at his name real quick. It is Skinny Biscuit and the Las Vegas Vanillux is who I'm playing. So yeah, I kind of messed up that ending a little bit, sorry about that. But yeah, that was our round 1 match. Look forward to the next match, of course, coming, which will be a best-of-3 semi-final, which was a pretty fun series, honestly. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Rabombi Teacher. I'm your coach of the Roborn with Rabombis. Stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.